Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Leverage Show, baby. Let's go. Man, oh man, oh man. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Bitcoin 103,100. Took a nice scalp this morning for about $400. Hey, that's how the day starts. If I do that 4 or 5 times today, I might be able to make $2,000. We'll see. Maybe I'll stop and end it at $500, $400. But we'll see. We'll see what happens throughout the day. Let's get that music back up and running. I just put the lemon into the water. We're going to decalcify that pineal gland the way we started from day one. I told you about them chemtrails. I've been saying it for years. Nobody believed me. Now it's coming out. I said they've been spraying in your skies. People thought I was nuts. They actually ridiculed me on Twitter. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Let's decalcify that pineal. Get ourselves on another level, thinking differently than the masses. Pushing ourselves through to higher levels, higher financial states, higher spiritual states, and higher frequency. When we do that, everything falls. Our bank account follows higher frequency, understand? You get a big bank account when your frequency gets higher. You get a big, more spiritual connection when your frequency gets higher. You're more connected to the earth, more connected to the people, more connected to the love. You can, you will, you are the best. You've got this. If you want to sign up to my trading course, right there. There it is. Hit the QR code to find out more. Life or Vision Trading. To do what I do, you can find out how I scalped the market this morning for gains when everyone else was bugging out. I just stayed calm and scalped the market. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. I'm going to show you also basically the setup I gave to my students. Was it Monday morning when I said you should basically take a hedge short of the market at 107.7. You're still in the money on that short. Some may be considering to hold it. Some may have taken profits. It's up to you now. I can't tell you what to do. Once I put out the trade, that's on you, right? That's why I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. I'm just a guy. This is a live stream of a reality TV show of my life. My mother died. My father died while I live streamed. My mother was in a coma. Every day I went on a live stream. You guys were there for me to see it happen in real time. It was a saga. It was insane. I can't even believe it happened to me. I thought it was somebody else. It looked like I was watching myself from afar. We're going to break it down for you. We're going to talk about it. Ooh, I just made a huge mistake. Hold on. I moved my bot. So the last time the bot bought was at 104. The bot is now underwater yet again with this double bottom. Could the bot lose finally, or can it crawl back to 112,000 and get itself out of this? I don't know. I may have to cut this one off. You never know. The bot's done very well, so if I did cut this off, it would be great, but maybe not. We will see. I'm not saying it's going to or not. I'm going over the facts here. I'm a factual guy. Solana, kind of making a flag above the 200 moving average, right? I love these. I trade tight vertices above the 200, touching the 21. Take the scalp, 158 for Solana. So here's the deal. What's going on in the market right now? Well, here's everybody's psyche. Why are you tuning in? What's the value to the show? Well, the value is this. This is it right now. You're going to have half the people telling you that we're still in a bull run and that you should buy the dip. These are the best prices ever. Okay? And you're going to have the other people telling you that this is the beginning of the bear and you should begin to honker in and get ready for lower prices. And then everyone's coming here to figure out what to do. I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to handle this strategy, what I'm doing, and then you can figure it out from there. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So what I did is I had a lot of coins. I bought a lot of coins. I put 10K, 15K into some really trash coins. I did at different times. In the last 3 years, I built up a portfolio of altcoins, okay? I looked at them today and I saw some that were down $5,000, $6,000, but I still had $4,000 left, $8,000 left. I looked at the math. I said, there's almost like $180,000 there. I said, you know what? I'm going to take my $180,000 out the market. I'm going to put it into some other type of business, something different, right? Just, like diversify, I'll buy a rental property, something like that. You know what I mean? Something just to have it. I'm still going to keep my, basically my chain link. I basically went through it, my Cardano. I'm still going to kind of ride those down and up again and hold them for about 10 years. Like, I just don't see a point in selling the main cryptos. But I did personally get out of riskier assets. That's what I did. All right. And I started doing this on October 10th. I don't know why. You can watch my stream on October 10th. You can say I'm psychic. You can say whatever I want. But the market looked a little weird to me on October 10th. And if you remember that day, I started to talk about, even in the last year, I've been saying I'm done DCAing. My last buy, I put $50,000 into SEI on the nastiest dip we ever had. Let's take a look at SEI, right? SEI took a massive dump down here, right? and I put like 50K into it here when it starts to recover somewhere around here, that's still basically back at break even after holding it since May, folks. May, June, July, August, September, October, and I've been holding SEI since I started buying here, since I knew about it. I bought this dip here and waited. You see what I mean? I piled money. And at this point, you're just like, man, it's kind of useless to sell at this point if you're in an asset like that. So it's kind of just like, let's see what happens. But alt season has to happen. Otherwise, this is going lower, likely to 5 cents. And that could turn, 50K into... So my strategy is this. If it's a strong coin that I truly going to hold for the next 5 years, I'm leaving it alone. If it's something that I was swing trading and looking to make money in the last 18 months, I'm going to consider cutting off half or most of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'm going to use all the capital that I do have, and I'm not done buying. Like, I'm going to use all the capital that I have on the sidelines to DCA into Bitcoin. So here's the deal. If Bitcoin, so now I'm kind of set, right? I've taken care of the garbage. And again, I might lose some things that bounced up quickly, but I'm also redistributing my mind. I'm deciding where my risk sits for the next 5 years, like in kind of what my plan will be. And I am going to be a little less risky than I used to be. I feel like I was, I went back to my old ways of heavy risk. And I don't know if I have to be as risky as I used to be. You see? Like I just need some good returns a year and to maintain what I have. A lot of people, a lot of money, they can't even maintain what they have. It's that hard because the percentages and the moves, right? So now let's take a look at BTC. And I'm going to give you my exact plan for Bitcoin. Both, whatever happens. All right. So this could be a tweezer bottom. We very well may bottom here and bounce. There's a chance that we do have a rally in December. I'm open-minded. It doesn't seem likely at this point, but we're above the monthly support on 1025. Let's look at all the math here, because there's a lot of people out here with a lot of different ideas. There's a lot of trading groups and a lot of gurus on Twitter and a lot of people running their mouth. I'm the guy that just goes over the charts, folks. I attempt not to brandish it with the me part of it and just the analyst part of it. I'm just analyzing. Okay, we could say we're in this channel technically. 1, 2, 3. We could bounce back to the top of the channel. I mean, technically, that is somewhat of a channel. I almost see it as it kind of looks like a slanted head and shoulder. You see it? There would be your neckline. You would draw the measured move. And yeah, you would come somewhere down to $64,000 BTC. All right. But everybody's buying, Satoshi Nakamoto's holdings erased $9 billion in a matter of days. Interesting, right? Like, he had so much Bitcoin, $9 billion disappeared. We all took hits. All the long-term Bitcoin guys, we took hits. 20%, 25%, 20%, 1/6 of our net worth disappeared in 2 weeks. And that's what you can't be in love with money. If you're in Bitcoin, you have to be in love with the conviction of the trade. It's interesting. You have to be a different type of person to make money in cryptocurrency. It's the average investor usually loses because it's more of an imaginational push. You have to believe in the future. You have to believe in the next step. You can't be money hungry. If you're money hungry and all you care about is money, it's very hard to make money in crypto. Isn't that interesting? But if you're a believer of energy, if you like to pass through frequencies, money usually will follow you in any endeavor. And I tell people this all the time. They think it's hogwash applesauce. And I tell them, whatever you think it is, it is. So if you think it's hogwash applesauce, then it is. If you find value and you can use this to gain leverage, then you can. It's up to you. You do whatever makes you happy. I gain leverage out of information. You tell me something, I'm going to use it to utilize my position and get myself in a better spot in life. I'm going to use the knowledge to make action. Action to make moves. Moves to find results. Results to learn. If you don't move, you can't learn. You got to learn from your actions. Taking no action means nothing will be solved. Nothing will be found. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I started the day telling my trading group, the old Latin saying that I've always stuck to. Fortune favors the brave. And it does. And it does. So if Bitcoin collapses continuously, I'm going to DCA all the way down until like the 50K regions, till I see a very low area of support or resistance, and so I'm willing 10K, 10K, 20K, 30K, and then we get down here, hold Bitcoins at 50K. You see, like, I kind of know, I know exactly how much I'm going to deploy. Like, I put 10K in here the other day, remember? I'll put 10K in here around, 90, if we go down into these areas, maybe even 20, 10K. This will be around 20 or 15 when we get to the 77s. This will be around 15 at 71. And when we get anywhere below like 66, I'm going to start deploying like, 20K buys. 20K buys. And then, hopefully catch the bottom, buy a whole Bitcoin down there, possibly a whole Bitcoin too at one point in front of the world, right? Like I like to. I'll have the 50K, I'll buy a whole Bitcoin on the low because God will provide. I know I'll have it. It's just going to happen. I will hustle so hard that this will happen. You see? So I'm ready. Send it down. I will DCA myself in, and I'll do it all the way until what? May of 2027, right? And then pre-halving will probably start somewhat of a bottoming, and then we'll get to halving in May of 2028, right around here, April or May. And then I'll be positioned for the next massive rally yet again for Bitcoin, right? And then that rally will be something like this. You'll take your bars pattern and take this whole rally and match this rally. And, we'll be somewhere at about, 167,000 BTC by September of 2000, that says by 2030. Again, it could take some time. This is a massive asset that's accumulating a lot of wealth over time. Again, that would then make a rising wedge that could break out parabolically, right? And that would send us somewhere to like 287 by 2033. Unless we had some blow off top. Again, then you would have a massive correction, wouldn't you? Again, back to the Fibonacci of 147, right? And then the cycle continues with a leg to the upside there. And then you can see as the Elliott waves expand over time, that gives me a 440 by 2040, right? $445,000 BTC. Now, take the trajectory that we have now. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. No one's done this, right? You haven't seen this. No one's done what I'm doing. Well, if you have anything of this nature and you were to duplicate this and it did anything like it did before, you could see it takes time. Again, that accumulation was a bit long. But still, I think people are assuming it's going to go a lot higher than it is over time. $10 million a coin. This is the story, right? There's always going to be a narrative being fed to you. Just remember to trade the technical analysis. Money doesn't come out of nowhere, right? The dollar will drop. That could accelerate this. But I'm just going over the natural laws here. And I've never done that before. What we just did, I've never done before. No one's ever seen that. I've never done that. I promise you, I channel things when I'm here on the show in front of you guys, and things just kind of happen. And as I do it, I'm like, what are you doing? And I just let it fly. So again, unless we just go absolutely parabolic, like we just rip parabolically, right? And we get to 215 by 2028, and then we just never pull back. There's just no pullbacks. Look, if we just never pull back and we do we pump as hard as we just pumped, it still doesn't get us to $1 million by 2030. You see what I'm saying? So to get to where these people are telling you we're going to get to, realistically, okay? Bitcoin would have to shoot straight up in the air. It would still not be, if Bitcoin went straight up, because each monthly candle has to go sideways, right? If Bitcoin went basically straight up, in a parabolic form, it still wouldn't make it till 2029. So this makes sense that we will likely have a bottom out cycle here, because even if you were to blow off top, understand? Anyway, let's get into what's happening right now and see if we can make a live trade. I don't plan to be, in the imagination land the whole time, but I wanted you to see things from a different perspective. I wanted to zoom out on a macro scale. I've never done that. I've never done that and really looked at that the way I just looked at it. So, to me, anything is possible. If we start thinking anything is not possible, then we can't be trillionaires and billionaires, right? Because then that's not possible either. Understand? Does that make sense to everybody here? Like, if you're playing chess, okay, you have two options: to believe that the chess player could do anything that you're not sure about, or to believe that you know everything that that player is going to do, right? You see, what's the best option there? Everybody in the chat, what's the best, if you're playing chess, what's the best option? Bro, Bitcoin going to 1 million somewhere in the next 20 years. Yeah. Exactly. Most definitely. What's the best way to think of playing chess? That the person you're playing against know exactly what they're going to do? Or to say you're not sure, but you're going to be open-minded to all the different things? Right? I'm asking the chat here. I haven't seen a response in the chat. I'm making sure people hear me. Hello, anybody out there answering my question in the chat? I'm asking a question in the chat. I know you're 10 seconds behind. All right. Wait to see the move. AI program. All options given. Yes. Never surrender. All in. I love y'all. But you know what I'm saying, right? To stay open-minded and not be sure what's going to happen. Ooh, we're getting juicy here. 103,372 for Bitcoin because we were kind of in the positional strength that I liked. Let's take a look here at BTC real fast on the Weeks account. Shout out to Weeks holding me down. God bless anyone who trades on Weeks. We appreciate you hitting that link. Thank you so much supporting the channel. So look, we see this beautiful ascending triangle on the 5-minute time frame on a Wednesday morning, my favorite day to trade, regardless of what's happening. I would extend this up to about 106, 107. I would look for this to continue to pump. I'd be looking for something of this nature here to move to the upside. Right? 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio here. I like that. So here I would say I'm going to go up to 106, 882. And here I would say I'm going to get stopped out at below the 200 moving average at 102.061. And it's a Wednesday morning. I like it. I'm going to go about 5 for 13. Ooh, 5 for 13 is not my favorite. Damn, it's not the best trade. It's a little under the 3. The Stokes are a little high. Let me take a look at the 15. 15's a little high, about to get rejected by the 200. But could actually get a launch pad here. Let's take a look at my 1 minute. My 1 minute looks beautiful. My 1 minute's in the flag too as well. So the 1 minute's in a beautiful flag, telling me it's time to take the trade. You see this? So this is a trade I have to take based on my algorithmic moves. I have to take this trade. We might be able to get a little more out of this one. 107.420. All right. So we'll go 5 for 15 and we'll take the trade. And that's a live trade here on the channel. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Please do not do exactly what I do unless it makes sense to you. I've been backtesting this theory for a long, long time. Whenever we're in a flag above the 200, touching the 21, with lower stochastics on a bigger time frame like the 15 and the 1 hour, it suggests we could get a possible move here to the upside. What I am expecting is there's resistance here at 103.5, and we may hit that as a top. And we may get rejected. These are 50-50 patterns as we're getting tight. I expect it to come to the bottom and boom. I could easily get stopped out here and lose $500. Be very careful. Remember, I'm already up 400 of the day. That would leave me down $100 today if I do lose the trade. So we'll go from there. We will take it one step, one day at a time. And then yesterday we hit some gains too on the short for 600. So like on the same account. So we're all right. We're up about $1,100 in the last day and a half or last 12 hours, something like that. So let's see. Let's see. So that's a live trade. Let's get back into the top-down analysis for Bitcoin. If you're watching me, I do a top-down analysis every single day on BTC. We go for the monthly, all the way down basically to the 1 minute, sometimes to the 5 second, if we have to. So look, beautifully monthly support. Previous resistance is support. The monthly could end up making an ascending triangle here, bouncing up, turning this into some type of flag. It also says, though, we would not be breaking out till April of 2026. We would then get a bigger rally for Bitcoin. And it says we would top out somewhere at about 158 in November of 2026. So this definitely this dump prolongs everything. Had we stayed more tight, we could have broken up here by January. And you never know. Anything is possible. But right now, realistically, anyone calling for a $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year like Tom Lee, I got to tell you, Choose Rich is, honestly, Choose Rich, he's an interesting guy. Like, Choose Rich. I'm sure you've all seen the dude with the whole girlfriend thing, and he did all the funny stuff. That was all a publicity ploy. Did great. He used X very, very well. You have to hand it to him. That was all devised perfectly, right? Mastermind, really, of social media. If you think about it, you could say whatever you want, right? You can get on your nerve. You can say whatever you want. Mastermind of social media. But what he talked about today was actually interesting. And, Tom Lee going out there saying we're going to 250,000 by the end of the year. It just, maybe. But like, where does, so we had the most bullish month ever when the ETFs came out. Okay. The most bullish few months ever right here. That's as bullish as you get. So if we take off and have the most bullish few months, you're still not 150K through June. Unless you're getting just 10 massive candles in a row and like Bitcoin just goes on something like, again, and anything is possible. But you're making a higher high. Your high is way less than that. Bulls, look, here's your high, here's your secondary high, big high. Here's your high, here's your secondary high, bigger high. Here's your high. That high is close. Every time you get higher, you're getting closer. That's the end of the last rally. Volume is also dropping off, telling me, so let's just be realistic. I'm a realistic person. I've been going over the charts realistically and not in a dream state for years now. And we should all do that, okay? It's important. That's a bearish engulfing candle. You can put all of these candles inside of it. That closes on the 2-week. That is a bearish move. I can see a head and shoulder inside of it. Today's green may be your last chance to take yourself out the game. Boom. 94,000, right? So this is still not amazing. The double top here, kind of a head and shoulder as well. So let's build the most so right now, the bigger time frames still look bearish to me. I don't see a saving grace moment here. I don't see a beautiful support. Just being honest. Now, let's break down the bullish scenarios. I mean, you resistance, bounce. You are inside of a zone that has shown some signs, of support. And remember, it's monthly support too, 102,500. So if you can stay above 102.5, there's a chance we can make some bacon on the beach here. The trade is up 2%. So far, so good. We're going to get back to this. We made a live trade in front of you here, going for 107,420. This is my model. It is Wednesday morning. I love trading Wednesdays on my model. So it's the best day of the day. It's good liquidity. We may have somewhat recovered from all the liquidations, but it's, and it's still high risk trading today. I just want to make that clear because the book is light because they've shredded people to like shredded meat. They're like jerk chicken over here, man. They shredded the market like jerk chicken. They really did. I love jerk chicken. I know you do too. It's good. Yeah. I want to go eat some too with those sweet Jamaican buns, man. Oh my gosh. A sweet Jamaican bun, man. Come get the jerk chicken now. Sorry. Like, don't ever do that again. I'm Jamaican. How dare you? Look, what if we're making one of these? The squawking bill, I call it. I call it the squawker. I don't know, it just reminds me of a squawking bird, right? And then we dip. And Bitcoin rips to the upside out of an amazing broadening wedge flag, right? It still only gives us 172 by February. You know what I mean? Like, even in the most bullish of surges. And we'd have to have 10 straight weeks up. So we had to start breaking out here. These 4 or 5 weeks are troublesome. And again, when I sold the top, which I did the day I came in on the airplane in Miami International on the plane, I did a live stream. As the stream ended, I sold the trade, posted it to the trading group. That was the top. 126 there. We would never go higher. And then the rest of and then we tweezer closed. When that weekly tweezer topped, I told everyone that's a bear sign, everyone. I said every single time a red candle closes next to a green one, we go down. I said we went down here, we went down there, we went down there, we went down there, there, and we're likely going to go down here. And look what happened. And then we talked about the key areas on, 1083, and we showed the monthly, and we lost those areas. And so we've been clearly defining what's happening here, and it's just been doing what it does. So even if we get a bullish move, it tells me that there's sideways Bitcoin for a long time. And there may be some innovative altcoins that pump here and there. I think there's going to be some AI. And we may get an offset alt seasons. Like 2 years ago, 2022 even, there was these high coins we were trading, remember? If you remember, on KuCoin and other places, and they were just ripping. High Penguin, high this, and 5Xs, 7Xs, 6Xs a day, 4Xs. It was insane. And 1 week, and Bitcoin was in a quote-unquote bear market, and we were making money hand over fist. I found Dimatra at like $1 or something, and it went to like $8 or maybe at less than a penny and went to 7 cents. I remember making like 7 to 10X on Dimitra. So in the bear market, we were doing some interesting stuff in the trading group, and we were finding a lot of different, and I'm seeing that now in altcoins. Like yesterday we saw there's going to be a trend to find if we just kind of stay true to the trend. And it is hard. You have to be here every day. You have to grind. So if you are in a job and you don't have the time, you can rest on my back and know that I'm going to be here every single day. So not only am I a group that puts out setups for Bitcoin, puts out setups for alts, but I'm also searching the market for where there's any bit of a liquidity move. Like I saw Dash and Zcash early, right? I started putting them out to my group before they had the huge pumps. How did I know they were going to? Because the charts were telling us. Go to cryptolifer.com if you keep getting lost, if you don't know what's happening. And I know, I would be facetious to not tell you that we are having a massive Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale in just a few weeks from now. So, if I didn't say that, you might click the button, and you may want to get in anyway and do the month and then pay for the bigger one later. It's up to you how bad you want to get in. A lot of people last night were in the group saying, hey, I made my 99 back pretty, it's funny. I was just reading the group, lurking like I do, and people were saying I made my money back. And like one kid was a young college kid, Jaden. And I think he goes to Morehouse, I could be wrong. And he was like, oh, I made my money back, pretty fast. So look, I'm the king of 3%. You've never seen a trader make 3% more than me over and over and over again since entry. And what I'm teaching you more about that joke is how that joke is not about, and it's kind of a joke, right? But the idea is, it means that a lot of my entries go up after I get in. That's what the king of 3% means. And look, this is 869 in at 47X. It's a $40,000 trade. We already made $80 off 869. That's a not easy thing to do. That's 10%. 100 grand would make 10 grand. $1 million would make $100,000 already. I mean, that would be very risky, right? You could also lose. And remember, I'm risking it for the biscuit here. And this is my real money. No one you know what I mean? These aren't demo accounts. And again, I traded for 10 to 15. I traded for like 12 years before I even looked at a lev trade. I did trade Direxion Daily Global 3X ETFs on gold. But in my defense, I didn't even know it was leverage. And it technically wasn't. I was buying the stock the way I buy a regular stock. I wasn't opening a leverage. You know what I mean? I had no access to leverage. They leveraged that ETF. I did not. You know what I mean? I was buying an ETF that just made, it was basically a derivative of gold for 3X the move. So look at this big pump for Bitcoin. And you can't say we didn't have you on the right path to hello here. And again, it could turn right now and dump in my face, but I've studied this idea. I've studied tight price action on the 21 above the 200. And I teach this every single day here on this channel. And I will, because tomorrow is going to be somebody new that's never seen me. It's going to click on that browser, the YouTube suggestion, and they're going to say, what is this? And so every single day is a day that I have to meet somebody new. Someone's meeting me for the first time. That's why you can't talk to trolls. You can't get negative. You got to be a positive person, because I want everyone that meets me to see the best person that my mother made, man. And that's me when I'm in my best mood, doing my best things, in my, loving life. So thank you for being here. May God bless everybody on the stream. Let's have an amazing rest of the stream. I'm super excited. 1042. It's a blessing to be alive. We got to stay in the present moment. That's how we build the future. We stay in the present. We build the future. You can, I can, we can all do it together. One step, one day at a time. So the weekly looking like it has some support here. Let's dig deeper on the smaller time frames. The 5-day at support. The 3-day at support. Clearly at support. You break this support, you can see you're clearly going to the point of control there. and down to about $96,000, $94,000. I mean, we tapped 98.8. Ain't too shabby. Also, that 3-day 200 moving average calling our name. The 2-day 200. I told you when you lost the daily 200 moving average, you would head down to the 2-day 200 moving average. I told you this. I called it out. I explained exactly how this happens. I don't know how I know. You know what I mean? You'd be like, how did you know this, Sam? Because I've studied the moving averages for years. They all do the same thing on every asset in the world. If this closes today, this is a tweezer bottom. There is a chance the shorts will get wrecked, and we will go all the way back up there to $111,000 for Bitcoin. Don't forget how volatile this asset has been. Possible bottom buys there on the daily if that candle closes today. Wow, 12-hour also already did it. That's a beautiful one. When this candle's small in the close, because you can get in and then boom, the pump happened in the last 12 hours, right? And I've been bullish. Remember, I was in a long last night, and that long's pumping now. We're doing damage here to the upside, up 14% of the trade. Shout out to anybody that made gains with the lifer or that's doing damage with the lifer. May God bless you. Thank you so much. So look at the 8-hour, getting the tweezer bottom. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Tweezer bottom right there. Buy right there with a stop below the wick. Amazing. It did play out so far. The 4-hour is attempting to get that move back to the upside. The 1-hour time frame showing signs of a slanted inverted head and shoulder. If you can expand your mind to see the creativity here. The cup and handle that exploded. Sammy, cup and handy, master friend. He would take from this candle here, right down there to the 618 golden Paquito, and we would blast to the upside. Unbelievable. So this is it. I mean, that could be the bottom. There is a chance we recover from here and there is no bear market. You never know, but it just, the bigger time frame suggests even if we do get a pump, it's going to take some time. You know what I'm saying? So the full moon was basically last night. I was out gazing at the full moon. It's technically in the morning at 8 a.m. in the morning now, but I mean, wow, it was beautiful. The moon last night was amazing. And the sky was so clear. Unbelievable. Yeah. And they say the moonlight is sacred. I let that moonlight shine all over me. I sat there in the jacuzzi, turned off the pool lights, and just let the moonlight shine, man. So Bitcoin made a flag here, see? On the 200, on the 21, after the cup. And it kind of made this double bottom, and it did break out. But look, this is our mission now. So look, we pumped to the 15-minute 200 moving average. That's a good place to take some profit. And now if we're bullish, we're going to flag out here on the 15-minute. You see? We might even break out really hard first and then flag out somewhere up in here. If you're bearish, you'll get rejected here and come on down. So this is going to tell us the story of the day. Like in the next hour and a half, you're going to see the 15-minute either kind of hang out and go sideways or even bust above the 200. If it busts above this yellow line, the algorithms are playing with this yellow line. Look, the second we lost this yellow line, that was the beginning to short. And you would have shorted there at 110. Amazing, right? I called down. It's amazing. We had the bear flag yesterday. I gave you the call yesterday, remember, on the channel? Suggested we were going somewhere down to 99,962. And we went even lower on a double bottom. Look, we double bottom though off of 99,098.8. 98,955. Amazing to get Bitcoin below 100K, right? So here's the deal. No, if we tell ourselves we have no idea what's going to happen, we could catch the reversal. If we tell ourselves we're definitely in a bear market, then, we may not catch that reversal, right? Again, maybe we are in a bear market and it continues to dump, and that's the smart decision to make. I don't trade like that. All right, I like to swing trade inter-day, inter-week, and take whatever kind of the market. I find that's the same, because if nobody knows exactly where the market's going, let's all be honest. If we can all agree that nobody knows exactly where the market, nobody is 100%. There's no analyst out there that's 100%. My worst 100%. But right, there's no analyst out there that's 100, right? Nobody. We've never seen it. We've never heard about it. It's never happened. We've seen people that are amazingly accurate. We've seen some really good hedge fund returns. But no one's actually dealt to see what the losses, someone could be 30%, someone could be 10% and still have massive wins if they make the right call. So here's the deal. If we can all totally agree, everybody here on this channel, all thousands of us here, that we don't know where Bitcoin's going, and no analyst truly does. We're all on the seat of our pants here. Then we have to assume the person that does it the most might know the most consistent person, right? Like the best quarterback is usually the most consistent. If you had to bet on someone that was going to win in the fourth quarter, you would bet on someone that wins in the fourth quarter more than they don't, right? I mean, you would bet on someone who's consistent. So I believe this channel will find us through. You guys push me to do this. I push you to do this. We push ourselves to greatness somehow, some way through the synchronicity of this channel. I appreciate everybody that's here. So back to brass tacks. We're going to watch this flag. If this flag flags out, we have a chance to make some money today. And if we believe in opportunity, there's possible opportunity out here. There's some support or resistance to play on. Okay? And we're above monthly support at 102,500. That's important. That's something that, I stick with. I was wearing this exact outfit the day my dad died. The day I got the call, I went to the hospital wearing this. Exactly this. Maybe not the pants. I don't remember exactly the pants. But wow. It's crazy, right? So be careful. A little bit of bearish div. I don't have, I'm open-minded. This could just be a dead cat bounce. And we could go lower. The bigger time frame suggests that we are going back down to 98,000. But again, nothing is 100%. I take this one step, one day, one candle at a time. So isn't that crazy? We can all agree that no human being on YouTube is 100%. So if nobody's 100%, then nobody knows that we're definitely in a bear or a bull market. We have to go by probabilities, though. Like, it was pretty obvious we were going to dump based on the head and shoulders. And we dumped. So I just play what the charts give us. You don't reinvent the wheel here. Someone already wrote all this stuff down and did all the math for you, the moving averages, it's all been done. Just play inside the spatial relations of the math. Things will play out over time. This could be a key rejection. We may never get back above the 15-minute. This could turn into a bear rising wedge that collapse on us to the downside, right? So just be careful here. The moving averages will tell a story. The flags tell you what to do. You get it? Like yesterday, we flagged out sideways after a dump. It told you we were consolidating for a dump. Had we made an inverted head and shoulder or something different, but to me, it was a bear flag. And you came to the 21 and the stochastics were high, like it was what it was. Stochastics here have a little bit of room. So right now, that will take that looks like that could take till 4 o'clock. And how would you know? We'll hit the plus sign, hit shift and go sideways. Like about 5 hours at 15 minutes. Yeah, and it's 11. So at 4 o'clock today, we might have an answer here. This may be we might be able to take a long today at 4 o'clock. You see what I'm saying? I feel like the move of today may, unless we get above the 200, we get another little spike up to 104.6, which I'd be willing to forego to wait for the better, lower risk entry on a flag. And we got a gap in the VRVP back to 106.571. There's still liquidity on the board, man. There's still checkers to be jumped. So there we have it. Let's take a look back at BOOKMAP. Link to BOOKMAP in the description. BOOKMAP is a liquidity. It shows you a heat map order book. All right. That's why it's called BOOKMAP. Heat map order book. An order book shows you where the orders are. A heat map shows you where the most people are, right? In infrared goggles. So if you see a lot of red, that tells you there's a lot of people with their stop losses right here at 98,150. So a lot of people jumped into the bottom, collecting that daily bottom, and maybe they did get it. And there is some liquidity all the way back at $110,000 BTC. Even if we were bearish, it would make sense to go back up and grab all that liquidity at 110K. Even if we were bearish. So only time will tell. Shout out to the livers. Shout out to everybody that's kicking it with me and getting into crypto. These prices are low, baby. It can't dump, Sammy. It's full moon day. Sunday, we will know for sure. Amen, yeah. Trump speaks at 1 o'clock. Oh my God, I get you the shudders every time. Bitcoin never goes down when Canada is cold. You're funny. Could you look at gold? I will look at gold. Remember me. Shout out to whatever. I don't know. God bless you, man. Shout out to Sean. If you want to trade where we trade, hit the links in the pinned comment here. To Weeks, to BTCC and MEXC. Right now, BTCC is hooking it up. Whatever you get back. So if you put 50K in trading volume, 5 USDT. And it goes up all the way to a Vision Pro for 50 mil, Rolex at 200 mil, and beyond. All the way to a Cybertruck, a Cybe. You get yourself a Cybe truck there for 700 mil. And that doesn't mean you get entered into a pool. That means if you hit it, you get it. If 2 people both got it, they would both get it. You get it? Amazing. I believe. It might be the first person to hit, but I'm pretty sure it's just if you hit, you get. I'm here with you in the group. Now, too, let's get it, man. Shout out to Wagon7492. God bless you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Shout out to all you, all amazing people. Shout out to Jacob1420. May God bless you. Shout out to all the people. Shout out to Puerto Rock in the house. God bless you, Puerto Rock, man. I thought about you the other day, man. I have that plaque you gave me about my dad. I told my friend, my buddy got this for $1. He pulled it out, yeah, and I keep it on my bureau, man. God bless you, Puerto Rock. Hope everything's going well with you and yours, man. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We're still here. Isn't that crazy? Still rocking. Never took a day off. Continued to pump. Sean, we love you. Yeah. Pi Cycle Top says 220, no, 190. Right? So sideways price action for BTC here. And I just want to see it make a flag here on the 15-minute and continue to pump. The moving average suggests that it will. When the moving average starts to curve, you get yourself a bit of a move. This could be, we went from 109 all the way down to 99. Just a nice $10,000 move. Not too shabby. So that's kind of how we trade Bitcoin today. We watch the 15-minute. If it flags out the 21 touches, we have a high probability of a move. If it does not, and it gets rejected by the 200 and we start falling down, we'll make some type of head and shoulder here, like shoulder, shoulder, head, and this will dump to the downside. Pretty obvious to me, and it tells me not to make a move yet, to observe the market. Yeah, and you too, brother. As always, I'll be around, back on the scene. God bless you, man. Why is AR not following Big TC? Airweave? Is that what you're saying? Solana also looks interesting, right? If Bitcoin makes this move, Solana will break back up somewhere up here to 171. So Sol back to 160 from the bottom at 147 was pretty strong, really, if you compare it to BTC. Not too shabby at all, right? I'm front running short orders. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are these lessons on our route? I joined yesterday trying to watch as much as possible. Just keep going to the... See, what people don't realize is the first thing you have to do in the group is not answer a DM from someone that claims they're me. Please. People are answering DMs from someone. Hey, it's Sam. I got this. I have no other service but joining my Discord or getting into my once a month class. That's it. I teach a class once a month. I don't have a course that I sell. You could come into the line. I mean, you can rebuy the class. So I guess I sell that course, but I don't have like a module. I don't set up trading bots for people. I have a trading bot that you could buy at MINOTAUR Trading, and you could go to MINOTAUR Trading with my link here, and it'll hook you up. That, you know what I mean? But I don't DM people because I don't DM people say, hey, we're doing this and put your money into this. No. If someone ever DMs you and says that, they're starting some fund, or that is not me. Please do not answer DMs from, I do not have time to DM the thousands of people in the trading group, okay? I don't have time for that. If you're realistically thinking you're talking to me, you have duped yourself already, okay? Think logically. Look how efficient I am. I can't sit there and talk to you and DM 1,000 people. I just can't. I get DM'd all day long, all right? Please do not answer direct messages on Discord. It is not me. There is literally like thousands of people who impersonate me around the globe, okay? I'm one of the most known traders in the game at this point when it comes to the trading niche. All right? Around the globe, man. From here to Singapore. So... Oh, it's quiet. What was that? Shh. Amazing. No, but seriously, time for a drink.
Unprepared. Jumps our way. We stay there for the day.
So Solana could break out if Bitcoin stays in the pocket today. Solana gets back to 171. You know, the key support for Solana that I found was the 4-day 200 moving average. But how strong is that really? And isn't it in a bit of a shoulder, head, right shoulder? And does this just fizzle off and continue to drop? Could Solana go back down somewhere to 94? Is this just a dead cat bounce to drag you in? I mean, we're very oversold. You're not buying the top. At the same time, like, you know, it's been tight. I see kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder there that did breach. You can almost say that's the bigger trend line. Right? Sol could bounce and end up, and here's the deal, even if Sol bounces and consolidates, like what, it breaks out in July at 215? You know what I mean? And then we can ride it. It's just like, it pumps back to 250 maybe by December, and then we go on a little rally. Okay. It has to go parabolic, right, to go to 500 before May. It has to do something it's never done. Like, the best rally it ever had was here, right? Let's see, it was here. That's basically its most insane rally ever. And if it does that, it only gets to 358 by February. You see what I mean? I don't know. It's cool, but how cool? So, I don't know. Exactly. If he doesn't have the check mark, it ain't me on the X.com, right? So we need that bounce for Solana here off that 200 moving average on the 4-day. Again, that is a potential tweezer bottom. Entry here with a stop below 145 could end up being quite lucrative to buy the fear. Right? So there's a chance here. Again, if I went at these every time, like every time we did have a tweezer bottom, it played out. It played at 1, 2. The last 3 times we did this was a perfect entry for a swing trade back to the upside for Sol. Very high risk trade at this point with the way the volume's been running, but all right. Some news here. Solana company approves share buyback plan for up to 100 million. Solana ticker HS. Oh, this is a different company. Has approved a stock plan to buy 100 million of the NASDAQ-listed crypto treasuries common shares. The new stock purchase recon, which open-minded, allows the company to repurchase the shares from time to time. The SOL per share accumulation. Oh, so the Solana company is a company on the stock market that's buying Solana. Formerly trading as Helios Medical Technologies, the Solana company said last week it had bought 100,000 SOL worth 200 million at the time, bringing Solana holdings to more than 2.3 million tokens. The Solana company shares were changing hands at 4.74. Interesting. Earlier this week, the company said Pantera Capital general partner Cosmo Jing had been elected to its board. So they were a medical company, but now they just buy Solana. Interesting. So this is, we could be getting a bounce here for Sol. 160. It looks interesting. All right. Someone said ZBCN was sold, right? And there's opportunity in this market. Remember, Dash was pumping. Zora was pumping. And if Bitcoin goes sideways here, or even breaches the 200, which it looks like it is, which pushes back into position, up 15% of the trade here on Weeks. Live trading on Weeks. If you want to hit the link to Weeks, please do. Amazing exchange, good customer service, great fees compared to the other big boys. Definitely save money there. So see what happens. I like this flag touching the 21. See if we get to 107,420. It could take all day. But I'm long, baby, long. Solana looking for the bounce back to the top of the channel here. If it ends up closing below here, then it's kind of like, a lost cause yet again. So, only time will tell. We shall see for Sol. But, it takes guts to buy the fear. Nobody knows if there's more fear coming or if this is it. It's weird how the fear should have gotten higher, not lower. That's a bit odd to me. Oh, we lost the eyepiece there. My baby plays with these, and the eyepiece literally falls out, but it has a little hole there, and it looks like you can kind of almost put it back on if you're maneuverable. Like, it's weird. Like, can you stick this back in, expand it into the hole, and wrap it back around? Like I just did, see? Anyway, no one wants to see me play with my glasses here on live stream. Well, there, like, I kind of put it back on. It seems to be stick. It's so strange. Oakleys. These are Oakleys. Anyway, it is what it is. I needed something a little more durable, more sporty, that could handle the bangs that my life brings. Fear and Greed sitting at 23. That's a great place to be buying BTC. Like, that $98,000 Bitcoin was amazing. So yeah, I'd be watching Bitcoin because whatever Bitcoin does, if Bitcoin gets rejected here and dumps, which could happen. Remember, we're at a precipice right now. Bitcoin either goes sideways and we make the pump, or it gets rejected, makes the right shoulder. We trade the flag bullish, we trade the right shoulder bearish. Or we don't even trade I don't trade as much short. We wait for a bounce maybe and do what we did earlier this morning. Like, I already extrapolated some money out of the market. I don't want to get back any more. Looks like it's rolling over here, to be honest. Kind of like a double top there. I'm just going to cover because I'm more about that 15 minute. Even if we pump right now, I'm all right. I'd rather just not lose money. You know, a lot of people don't realize how important it is not to lose money in trading. Just as important not to lose it is to win. To constantly not lose is key. And then win every once in a while, right? Someone says, you saved my butt so much in the past 3 days. I found you at the perfect time. Thank you so much for saying that. You know, because sometimes I get in my head. Sometimes times are tough too, and I keep showing up. And last night as I went to bed, I said, Sam, when you showed up the last 3 days the way you did, you helped people stay confident. You helped people figure. You've helped a lot of people, man. I heard a voice tell me, keep going, never stop, Sam. Yeah. And gotta buy with the fear at this level. Not even a decision, just part of the plan. 100%. 100%. 100%. All coins not so sure. I would only, for me, DCing into BTC, everything else is a bit sketchy right now. Personally. I'm looking for the flag on the 15 minute. I'm not going to kind of discuss Bitcoin again. I'm pretty sure I have it locked and loaded with how to trade it today. All right, I'm open-minded to both scenarios. I'm watching for both tells, and I can handle each situation. I know exactly where to put the risk and the stop loss no matter what happens. I know the position size I want. That's all I desire. I know a position size I desire. I know a position size I'm going to use. It's all ready. Funny, Giggle looked interesting to me last night before I went to bed. I'll show you what I was talking about. I put out Giggle to the trading group. Wow, it did actually. And I put out Giggle here at 78. It ripped back to 193. I can't. This coin has been so hard. But then I put it out here too. Look at this beautiful flag. Giggle in at 100. And my target there was 149. Then it flagged out again last night. Made another. It just keeps flagging out. Touching the 21 with low stochastics. Touching the 21 with low stochastics. Touching the 21 with low stochastics. And Giggle just rips back up from the low at 49. I'm just like, talk about the coin that got away so much. But I mean, I gave you this beautiful, this is my flag right there. The flag above the 200, touching the 21. Low stochastics. I say it every single day, time and time again. I gave this trade to the trading group. I talked about it. I said, Giggle looks strong compared to Bitcoin. On the whole market, and it's, I always like when Bitcoin takes massive dumps. There's like 6 coins that are obviously different than the rest. Shout out to anyone that got into Giggle in the group and made gains. I see a lot of people pointing out Giggle, talking about Giggle. Giggling for Giggle here. And I didn't even put out a lot of altcoins the last few days, but Giggle was on my radar. Yeah. And here you could say like Giggle pump from the live stream that we drew. They made another bull's flag right there. That was the bull flag that continued to go. But that entry is stone cold at 77. right? And no stop loss got hit. Everyone's like, oh, stop losses. I never use a stop, but this stop loss never got hit. You can move the stop to break even now. I show this time and time again, how this stuff plays out over and over and over again. That's the 3-minute chart too we're looking at for Giggle. You can see how the 3-minute was above the 200. Everything looked good to me. Unbelievable for Giggle. Amazing the money that could be made, right? 40, 50, if you just focused on opportunity, there was big money to be made. That thing did a 3x since last night. I mean, this is insane. There's money out here. Do you clear your trade or do you add money to it? If you go down, how long do you stay at a trade? Thank you. I never add money when a trade goes down. I swing trade altcoins. You know, I basically call bottoms pretty nicely. I either get into the exact bottom. Yeah. Somebody said it's something wrong with the music. It's double playing. You're 100% correct. Thank you. First person to say that. I appreciate you for saying that. I just noticed it too. Something got clicked off earlier today. Thank you for saying that. I might have annoyed everybody. Let me make sure I still got viewership today. It could have dropped viewership, but people get annoyed by that. Flipping Bitcoin 1 hour upside down is mega bullish looking. But you have to admit that Giggle is a garbage coin. Hey, Sammy, could you please take a look at Injective? Thanks, man. Dang, man, I'm just like, I keep missing Giggle every time it rips. It's getting on my nerves a little bit. And I'm right on it. I look away for 2 days and then it's gone. Right? Injective, what a beat coin, right? So remember, every coin's kind of waiting on what Bitcoin does. And we're waiting to see what Bitcoin does in the 15-minute time frame. So we're kind of like, we're locked and loaded here. We're all ready for it. We want to see the 15-minute make a flag. It might actually take a little shorter time. Might be a little smaller. But we either get rejected by the 200 moving average on the 15, which we're right at right now, or we kind of hang out with it, go sideways, and we get a pump. The flag will tell you what will happen. See, the flags tell you what people are doing. If more people are buying, the flag will be made. If more people are selling, we'll make a head and shoulder. The momentum will be described by the pattern. The pattern will tell you where you're going. Stop trying to predict things. Stop trying to tell yourself you know what's up. That's a waste of time. Let's take a look at SUI and see what's happening on SUI here. So SUI lost the key area below the 4-day 200 moving average. Got very bearish to me. You could say it's in this bigger pattern though, and it just kind of, it's like coming back down. It looks like it may have to come all the way back down to 136. So either we're like double bottoming off this key support, which we're at support. Even if it does that though, look at it. It looks kind of like a descending triangle, doesn't it? I don't know. Say it bounces back up and then it would have to kind of make an inverted here and then break out. Even then, like it doesn't break out till March of 2026. It's 370. I don't know. Just the bigger, it just does. This stuff doesn't look amazing to me. I do a falling wedge here. It's below the 2-day 200 moving average. Very bearish to me. It's gonna have to get back above that. That's basically in bear territory. Like you've been below the daily 200 moving average since the beginning of the month. Similar to this bottom though, it looks a lot like this bottom. You lost the 200, you come down here. So either you believe in this project so much that this is the greatest price to buy at 2 beans, and it did bounce a little bit too off the 180, 191 lows. And we'd have to look for this to invert it. And again, this all depends on if Bitcoin gets that move, then SUI will too. If Bitcoin collapses, then this goes down lower. People don't want to hear that, but that's the facts with any of these bigger coins. All right, no matter what happens to, whatever happens to Bitcoin, we'll take that coin down. That's just the facts. Yeah. You said my Teva took off. I don't know about that. It doesn't look too good to me. I don't know if we're looking at the same coin. Nothing in the world could take the place of persistence. I love this, I listened to Jim Rohn again today, and I played it for the group, and he talked about how you will pay. He said, success, and look at the resistance by the 200. That could come down nastily, make the right shoulder. We could be in for a dump city. And Bitcoin could go all the way back to 975. All the altcoins could continue to dump here. Could be the best time to get out. Sam, God bless you and your family. Could you please take a look at Aster? God bless you, my brother. What a smart way to get my attention. To bless me and my family, and then how could I say no? I mean, you're a smart man. I mean, that's such a great way to ask for without even, he didn't even have to give a super chat. He said, God bless you and your family. Could you take a look at Aster? Sure thing, buddy. I mean, you got me where you got the key to my heart there. So let's take a look at the 3-day chart. 3-day bounced. Let's look at the daily. The daily is attempting the bottom there at 93. It could be a rounded bottom for accumulation. The cool thing about this is even though the market kind of pumps or dumps, I mean, it should make money utility-wise based off the fact that it's a DEX and it could distribute, right? So it could be in distribution right now here. Then it makes the handle, and then it breaks out. The altcoin market is showing me signs of a lengthy move. Like it's not going to be overnight. It says it could get to $3 by the end of December, though. This could be your bottom of accumulation for Aster. I'll be watching this progression here for Aster. One more higher low, and it could start to dig its way out of here to the upside for sure. Let's watch that closely for Aster. Kind of seems like I may be hitting on something here. Hello, Brother Talbot. Smaller time frames. Thank you. Can we look at Render from Michael Reinhardt? Let's look at Render and see what's happening to Render. So Render took a beat down to 171, but it bounced all the way back to 194. Signs of life for Render, right? Showing like it could actually hang. It's attempting to bounce. Now, if Bitcoin gets the bounce, like we're saying, but Render's like the lowest it's ever been. It would have to make an inverted head and shoulder here and dig its way on out of here. I mean, look at the collapse. Also, it got delisted off of Coinbase, which I find strange, right? That's not good for liquidity at all. And I don't know why. So to me, it kind of looks like we may be making a multi-year bear market again here for Render. Again, I don't know. Like, we could rip back up and everyone will be like, well, that guy was out of his mind. But usually we have to round these bottoms out. December of 2026, I don't know. Have you looked at the 1-year chart and see the giant inverted head and shoulder pattern? Is that on BTC? Yeah. In your opinion, Sam, what made this alt season act so different from others? What changed? To me, it was the amount of money in the cycle. So before we had $1 trillion market cap. And you could say there was a lot of guys with 300 mil, 4 bill, a couple billion, 5 billion, And there was a lot of whales in the market that moved liquidity with like private hedge funds and institutions and VCs, and they would funnel money into altcoins. They would actually know what altcoins they wanted, and they would get ready, and they would sell Bitcoin and put it into altcoin. You would see it. Like an altcoin would rip. Kind of like we saw Dash pumping the other day when Bitcoin was dumping. It's like something was moving. People were moving their Bitcoin profits into privacy coins, weren't they? I mean, why were the privacy coins pumping so hard? Something was going on. All the privacy coins were pumping, and Bitcoin was dumping. I mean, you do the math. Someone had obviously bought Bitcoin and was taking profits into privacy coins. Whoever it was, we don't know, but the market told us you don't see Dash R, XMR, and Zcash all ripping out of control while Bitcoin's taking a beat down. Like, that's strange. So my whole point is we started seeing whales in the market that controlled the last few rallies, but this rally was controlled by institutions. Larry Fink came in strong with BlackRock. They started buying. The ETF started moving. And the ETF does not redistribute funds back on chain. It doesn't sell and then get back into Cardano, or, so we didn't get redistribution. And you can see this. If you look at the other, let's take a look at something here. Look at BTC USDT. spot on Bybit, right? And then we're going to make this 2, right? We'll delete this work for now. We'll go here to total 3, which is all the altcoins excluding, you know, we could even go to others if we had to, but, and let's look at the weekly. What is Bitcoin doing to me here? It's probably on like the 1 minute or something. Yeah, there we go. So let's take a look at the last rally we had, right? Where Bitcoin... All right, I can't... We got to go to maybe USD on Coinbase, which I have some work, but I'll delete it. Whatever's. And we got total, which... All right. So here, let's look at the last altcoin season here. This one here, all right? And this is when the altcoins absolutely surged compared to Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin. So you can see here on the left, here on the right is the altcoins. Here on the left is Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin distributes here. And as Bitcoin distributes, what happens? Altcoins go on a massive tear. You see this right here? Bitcoin starts to fall back and it does dump. When Bitcoin dumps, the altcoins go on a massive tear. Then we go on a rally again, and then the altcoins kind of surge with Bitcoin, like they're supposed to. And then when Bitcoin redistributes, what happens right here in this redistribution, in this massive red candle, you can see altcoins beginning to surge. Right here, you see? As Bitcoin's red there on that week, you can see the altcoins just, and then as Bitcoin goes sideways and chops around, the altcoins go on a massive rally. Then they all dump together. Then they pump together. Then they distribute together. Then they pump together. It's interesting. They all kind of went up. The whole market went up together. Then they had the bear market. And now we kind of look at this rally that we're in now for Bitcoin, right? And you can see each time we redistributed. So you look at total. Sorry, let's just look at just price action. But each time, you know, we redistributed here, alts did not pump. See, the last time we went like this for Bitcoin, alts went on a surge. Not the case. They only surged when Bitcoin went up. When Bitcoin redistributed, they did not see. Look at this. They just went up and down. These are old retail buyers that held the same bags. And honestly, it was really just the DXY dropping, right? Bitcoin dominance. And so things went up and Bitcoin went up because people were buying it. Bitcoin was going to go up with the altcoins because the DXY was dropping. Those are the facts. And so my whole point is we didn't get redistribution into altcoins, and you can see it. Because new money was not flowing from Bitcoin into the altcoins like the last cycle. It was just it was the same bags watching the market, like me, guys holding bags for days. You know? Wow, Bitcoin took a beat down, and I got stopped out at break even. You see, because I knew it wasn't the good position to be. You know, I defended. You know, see how quickly I could just. And people get mad at me for that. They think I'm a flip-flop, change it up. No, I know how not to lose money, especially when I'm live. Like, come on, man, you're gonna lose publicly all the time. So we are seeing a lack of distribution from Bitcoin wins into the altcoins. That's what we're seeing. And you can see it on the chart. It's right there in front of us, right? So, yeah. That's a great question. That's why we answered you, you know. Let's take a look at the fan funding today and see who's here representing for the lifers. We have Vincenzo. Hey, brother, need a copy of the class and PDF files. Email my wife at cryptolifers@gmail.com. Pay that tax. Scorpio season, baby. Love is love. God bless you, bro. God bless you, man. Grandmaster friend, God bless you, brother. In the group now, big dog. Here's your tip. You already made me the group. Many times over, I have to give back to the certified GOAT, dude. So he's in the group, and he says, I already made him the money many times over, and he's giving back. Thank you so much. May God bless you. And you can see I have hundreds and thousands of people like this that have learned from me, have made money from what I've taught them, and have gone on to continue to do damage. So I stress not because I help others, and people give back to me every day. Whether they join the trading group, whether they use links, whether they send me a super chat. I am always receiving because I decided to give my life away to the public, you see? I just want to prove a point to you. People get upset with success, but you can see it right there. That's the full cycle return. He's very excited about his relationship with me. I'm very excited about my relationship with him. You see? No homo, right? But you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to be funny. But, you know, in all honesty, I didn't even want to make a joke there because it's really serious. Like, I'm literally excited to meet people that want to learn. That's amazing to me. And he's choosing me to learn. I mean, what a responsibility. People want to change their lives, and they choose me to change their lives and to learn from me. That's a huge responsibility that God has given me. I can't take it lightly. Not everyone gets that. A lot of people have jobs, but do they have the responsibility over thousands of people that they're not responsible? But, you know, the responsibility to help guide. Again, I'm not a financial, but to help guide people. Man, you know, we talk about spirituality. We wake up every morning. I play Jim Rohn. I talk about gratitude every single day, staying in the present moment and staying in gratitude. Those two things will make you a multimillionaire. I don't know how and why, but they will. If you make them priority, somehow everything else follows suit, right? Can you check Sweet? Keeps going nowhere. I agree. Can you check ICP? Let's take a look at ICP. And shout out to all the beautiful people that gave today. Shout out to Vegas Claw. Thank you for becoming an exclusive lifer. You're the best, brother. Appreciate all your support and the funny jokes you've made throughout the years. Let's take a look at ICP, which actually pumped recently off of the lows at 258 all the way to a spiked high of 650. Just today, yesterday. Came down again, but it's above the 200 moving average. So let's take a look at the 4-hour time. So yeah, the 4-hour, I would be looking for it to consolidate something like this. Aggressive entry would be now, right? 21 comes on in and this thing could continue. It does look like it may be on its way back up. Very interesting times. Bitcoin bouncing off the 21-day moving average. Let's see what's going on here on the 5-minute. So there's my beautiful model on the 5-minute time frame. We're above the 200 yet again with the 21 redistributing price action into a flag. We're kind of waiting for the same thing on the 5-minute time frame, right? On the 15. So watch both the 15 and the 5. They're going to be your guide for the next 2 to 3 hours, in my humble opinion. Aggressive entry would be now, meaning it's the high risk, but it could be the actual local bottom. I wait for the up and down movement and to get into tight price action. Again, 103.2 is better than 103.6, but it's higher risk. To me, the better trade isn't always the case. It's the lower risk trade. I may make less money on the lower risk trade, but I use less risk. Right? The old me would go for the aggressive entry every single time. But again, I'd get stopped out more often. If I go for the redistribution and wait for price action to get tight inside of the channel, then there's a higher probability I will win the trade. I just got to take the probabilities that are given to me. I can't force it. That's all I can do as a trader, you know? Seriously. So, you can't force things, all right? Hey, brother Tau, but smaller time frames. Let's take a look at Tau. Yeah, and renders just at the bottom of its barrel. It may be in a long distribution, and maybe it spikes out of nowhere. This is a falling wedge. It breaks out of here. My thing is this: if render were to break out, maybe make a right shoulder there, it could be a buy somewhere at $3, $3.82. But that will be in March or February. Like, do you want to wait 4 months to hold render? I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, and there has to be patience. Let's take a look at Tau here, a bit tenser on MEXC. So we talked about Tau. We liked it at 318. We liked it at 390. It bounced up to 482, but kind of got the heebie-jeebies here, right? And it started to get into that chop sauce again. What do I see happening for Tau? Well, I just see it kind of staying inside this interesting redistribution zone where it just bounces off the lows of 280s into the highs of 480. But again, it looks like it could just kind of hang out till February. It looks, if we do get a breakout, I keep getting this February area. I could be wrong, but it's starting to close off as February right now, and these, this could change, but it's saying, hey, we hang out. It may just out of nowhere pop, but that's usually unlikely. Usually you kind of hang out and get tight for the breakout. Looks like it may be going sideways for the next few weeks, if I had to call it. Someone said quant was out of control here. Hey, I get excited anytime something is pumping. I mean, you call that a move? It went from 72 to 85, but it fell out the bigger flag. Now quant would have to be kind of doing this, which is like, to me, it's outside. So to me, it would have to get back inside of this channel. Bit of a cup and handle there. I could see it head back to the top of liquidity, just like kind of bounce. Like head back up there to 121. But I mean, look at it. It's just been up and down for years now. Last time we traded it was right there in November of 2023 when I went to Vegas. I called this inverted head and shoulder, and it went from 100 to 151. I never touched it again. Like, nice little bounce there for Bitcoin. 5 minute above the 200. Remember, that is a bullish sign. I told you that was an aggressive entry there at 121. You'd actually somewhat be in the money there just a little bit. I think it's too risky after just what we've been seeing, but we go from there. So, and you want a towel on smaller time frames. So sorry, I have to pay more attention to what people are saying. Let me take a look at what you're saying here for towel on the smaller time frames, on the 15 minute. I mean, it's following Bitcoin, so it should be above the 5 minute 200, just like Bitcoin, and we should be waiting for it to flag out, just like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin flags out and gets the move, then so will all these altcoins. It's pretty insane, right? You're watching BTC, and this actually looks good. This is something I like to trade. This is what we traded this morning for gains on the 1 minute. So there we are. And Bitcoin's right at the 200. This one's a little bit behind. 1 minute bouncing off the 200 as well, which is a bullish sign. High risk legendary entry. 1035 for BTC. And it's a beautiful day to be alive. We always have opportunity at our fingertips. Take a deep breath. Realize that it's okay. You can make mistakes in this life. You're not here to be perfect. Nobody said that. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm not here to be, success is not about perfection. I always talk about that. People think success is perfection. Look, he's got it all. He shows up every day. He's dressed to the nines. He's got the roadie. He's got it all. The guy's, flies around the world. But success is a mindset. It's a frequency. It's a constant behavior. I worked out this morning till I sweated out. Proved to my wife that I care about my body so I don't get fat for her. Me and my wife, when we were younger, we both promised we can't get fat for each other. We used to be young. I'd be like 24, 25. We'd be walking around. We see a couple. They both let themselves go. And I'd say to her, I said, please don't ever do that to me. And she said, please don't ever do that to me. I said, I owe it to you to stay healthy and in shape so we always enjoy each other. You know what I mean? And so I told my wife, and she told me that we would always work for the love of each other. Like, if you really love your loved one, then you should give her an amazing body to be with. I'm just being honest. And vice versa. Mr. Sam, can you check ES1? Shout out to Fake Out Frank, Zeno, Master Friend, Badri, Mr. Yurkovic. Thank you. Let's make the 99 back again, baby. Jaden, I love you, man. You're awesome. I saw you being positive in the biggest dumps. I saw you talking about your gains for that you made way more than the 99. I saw you telling beginners that you love, God bless you, Ace Supersonic. And, another thing I want to talk about is trading and my favorite platforms to trade. And MEXC, man, is one of the best places to trade. There's been some FUD on MEXC recently. There's always an attack FUD because MEXC has the best coins. It has the lowest fees, and no one could touch it. You know what I'm saying? So, nice little stop hunt right there. I didn't trade that, but I was looking at it. The point is, MEXC has been amazing. I've held funds on MEXC for years. I've never had an issue. They're amazing. Good customer service, good support team. We'll be hanging with them in Lisbon next week. So, yeah, I stand by MEXC. It's been an amazing exchange. I've seen so many people have no issues with it. So I just want to make that clear, make a clear statement that I've never. It's actually the most consistent exchange I've ever had. Never had issues. Never had my stops fall through. Never had liquidity problems. Never had slippage, just in, out every single time. No spot slippage too. Like one of the greatest spot swing trading places I've ever had. So anyway, I have nothing but great things to say about MEXC. The FUD is just what it is. They're jealous because MEXC is awesome. And they want to get market share. And so there's always going to be a story. There's always going to be some, I don't buy it, man. I'll tell you the truth. If something wasn't right, I would say, hey, this ain't right. And they've been spot on since day one, my friends. That's just my experience. So look, this is looking bullish to me. Sol looks like it's going to break out. Sol looks bullish compared to the rest of the market. Looks like it could make a nice pump here to the upside. Right? That looks bullish to me. Again, I'd like to keep the stop below the 5-minute 2, so it's tougher. It's more of a 2.5 risk-to-reward ratio, but that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. High risk, high reward here to, and you got the double bottom working for you. You've channeled above this resistance. You've used that as support, resistance, bounce, right? So you got some fundamentals and some confluence in your favor here for Sol. Not too bad, right? So we'll see. 103,005 for Bitcoin. It sits sitting pretty. Bookmap does suggest we go lower, but that's not 100%. There is a big old bowl of liquidity down at $98,000. But man, I'm looking for at least a pump up here to 167 for Solana. And it's funny, I never trade alts. It's always, they sketch me out. I'll attempt, I have very bad luck trading altcoins. Sol Perpetual looks interesting though, right? This is where I like to take it. That is my model right there. So if I use no emotions and just trade the model, it tells me I should make money. If I do this every time, I should make money. Go to 170. Looks like there will be some profit taking at 165. So I go to 171 on the take profit. And 24 cents. My stop loss is at 155 and 75 cents. It's a beautiful flag. Again, I'm very low risk on altcoins, like 200 for 6. I tend to lose money on altcoins almost every single time I trade them. So I usually don't. Like if I lose money this time, I'm like, this is why I don't do it. I trade Bitcoin only. But the flag looks beautiful. Again, it all depends on what Bitcoin does though. They could easily just come get me. Trading is difficult, man. It's like it all looks perfect. It happens after the fact. You saw it, then it eats away at your head. You're like, I had it, but I didn't have it. The ups and downs, you got to constantly clear your mind. You got to constantly I use exercise and, there's things you got to do to keep yourself limber as a trader. Otherwise, trading will take over your brain. And you always be like, I should have got this. I would have got that. I could have gone, like last night, we could talk about how I missed GIGGLE all night long again. It's just nuts, right? It's just, I knew they were going to mess with GIGGLE. And actually, by my system, it looked good to me. It looked good to me. 103,650 for Bitcoin. That's good. We want to see Bitcoin pump so Solana can get out of the trenches here. Is Solana going to actually bounce here? And is this it? Are we in for a long-term redistribution here on altcoins? Or are we just like all of a sudden... Let's take a look at how this whole market could erupt out of nowhere. Let's just see something that I could be missing. All right. Let's take a look at the total market cap. Is there something I'm missing? Is there some big move here that could happen out of nowhere? Like here's a wick on the weekly. We could say, okay. And this thing could, in 3 weeks, be right back up to the all-time high. My only thing is then aren't they going to break it up? And it's like, and even if they do this, it's just February of March, are we going to break out? So you can get it now, but you're going to have to wait forever. Like, we're going to have to wait forever to make those gains? You know, or are we going to come back down? So, like, it's just... Either way, it says that the bigger trade doesn't happen until February or March. Do you see? Unless maybe it could just erupt. The other thing is broken patterns. Like, it can get back inside the pattern. Then it can hang out here, and then it could break out. It still says February or January. Like, maybe December 1st, it starts to rip out of here. And by January 26th, where you hit the high, I mean, it just... Altcoins took a beat down too, losing that daily 200 moving average. Once you're below, that's when you start to, you know, so either you get back above this sooner than later, or these just kind of flag out. And altcoins take a bit of a dump here, and we really redistribute into a more bearish market. So the more I look at it, the more like we have to get a bounce, and even if we do, we have elongated distribution. It doesn't look like we're just going to absolutely just boom to the upside out of nowhere. Anything is possible, don't get me wrong. But I'm starting to look at this like, okay, so let me see the weekly now. It kind of looks like, you know, you read it, this is what I see, right? And you're gonna make that bowl again. Maybe you double bottom down here, like, I don't know. It almost feels like you got bearish div, bearish div, bearish div. So for me, like, if we get back above the daily 200, I would get a little bullish for the alts. I'd be like, okay, there's a chance. This was just a scare tactic. But even then, I would just look for the bounce back to the top of this area here. I'd look to probably swing trade some things and take some profits. And we could have this shoulder, head, right shoulder here, and that might be the perfect buy, though, right there. So that, and we might have to wait till November, the end of November, to make that trade. It's not like there's 100 trades out there every day, right? Wow, we're actually bullish on my altcoin Lev trade here. I live traded an altcoin. That's crazy. I never do this. Never seems too long until you're gone. Wow. So it's tough. Like, do you buy the dip right now? And so let me tell you who gets rewarded right now. Let me tell you who gets rewarded. Back to my idea. Remember we said nobody knows where Bitcoin's going to go. Nobody does. Nobody has any clue where the market's. People have high conviction, and there's people that are really good at TA, and their probability is pretty spot on. There's some people in them. I don't know anyone like that. Do you? You know anyone like that? I don't know anybody like that, but. No, so the idea is this, right? So because nobody knows what's going to happen, we have to have a plan. So here, I believe in the next 5 to 6 years, Solana will recover and go up to some highs. It's going to take some time. Like, if Solana really does what it has to do, it's going to consolidate, right? And it says it's going to consolidate, I don't know why, May of 2026. And just says by 26 we get to 500, right? So it kind of like we're starting to see this, unless it just goes on a massive tear up. Even if it goes on a massive tear, it takes till April to get to 500. So I don't, you know what I mean? So if you jump in now, like, oh, I'm buying the lows, fine. Yeah, maybe you will never get Solana this cheap again. But you got to have a, so the only people that are going to really win here are people that are willing to buy Solana for the next 2 or 3 years. Like this. These are I'm telling you right now. And because I've been through this and I've thought it through 100 times. And I've thought how they chew through people. I'm like, how do people win markets? I'm like, the only people that truly win are the people that have this long-term goal and are willing to hold forever. The sad thing is, some of those people do lose positions that never come back. But they just hope that eventually one out of those 50, one out of those 100 does come back strong, and they end up buying the bottom, and that takes care of the other ones they were convicted on. That's why it's, So the idea is, if Solana is bearish, it goes into this kind of like multi-year bear market, and this person buys, $500, $500, every couple of weeks, depending on who they are, 1,000, 5,000. And then when Solana hits, it hits, right? The key is they start buying right now if this is the plan. And so if it does start to distribute and they buy a little bit here, they buy a little bit there, and they get this pump. So the person that has the idea to buy it long term is the only person that's going to be able to buy right now with ease. Everyone else is buying right now for the guaranteed fact that it has to pump. They're like, oh, I got to make this money now. If it doesn't go up, they're going to freak out. And they're going to get emotional, and they'll probably sell at a loss. You see what I mean? So a lot of people are like, this is the bottom for Sol. I'm going to go in with all my lev. This is it. I'm all in. It's actually going up now. I can't believe it. Almost the king of 3% again. Oh, I am the king of 3%. Amazing. See, I show you how that happens a lot. So either you believe in Solana long term and you're willing to go down with a long term, or you're a swing trader that's willing to take a hit if it doesn't do what you think. You get what I mean? There's no two sides to this story. Because if you think you called the bottom for sure, then you're going to get in right now with a lot. If you think you did something for sure, you're going to be over leveraged. Because there's no way you could lose, right? So why wouldn't you go hard? So you're going to go hard. You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to full port this. I got that bottom of Solana. And if it doesn't pump up, you're going to be on pins and needles, freaking out, pacing. You're not going to sleep at night. And every time it kind of starts to dibble near your liquidation down here, you're going to freak out. And then if it gets this close, you're going to add more cross leverage to keep yourself, and your liquidation is going to go down here. And then when you get back up here, you're going to be great. And if you don't take profits, you're greedy. And then if they come back towards again, and then eventually they liquidate everybody, and then, right? You could play this game if you want. I know you've done it. Most of you have. Maybe you want to turn a new leaf. It's time to do something different. It's time for me, because I can't tell you what to do, but for me, it's having a 10-year plan. 10 years. What's going to happen in 10 years? What can I buy today that I'm willing to hold for 10 years? All right? And building that position and being okay with the fact that I'm not going to make tons of money overnight. See, once I tell myself that God will take care of me, that I don't have to freak out every 5 seconds, that I don't have to be cutthroat, and that money will come my way as long as I'm a good person and I do the right thing and I work very hard and I stay disciplined. You can be a good person and dream all you want, but you got to be disciplined. There's got to be a system. I have a live stream that goes live around the world internationally every single day, right? We contact thousands of people around the world. They meet me. They say, hey, there's Sam Price on the live. We make content. We make a show. We produce. Every single day we creatively produce a piece of media that travels around the world, right? Discipline. We created a product. We got the voice. We got the talent, right? They hired me, man. Whoever got me, amazing. That guy, Sam Price, hired this crypto lifer guy. I was hoping I was going to get the job when I went in. So here's the deal. And so either you swing trade with the idea that you may be wrong, and if they get you, you get you, and you do proper risk management. Or you go all in believing that you have to about the bottom. You see this? You see how this is a problem? And you see how right now we're in a very tough spot for a lot of traders, because they are either all in right now because it's guaranteed the bottom, because they're not willing to set a 10-year plan. They're not willing to set a 4-year plan. They need to get rich tomorrow. They need to get rich in a year. I'll tell you right now, it took me 17 years to make my first $1 million from the day I decided I was going to become like an entrepreneur, investor, trader type of guy. It took me 17 years. I thought it was going to happen way quicker. I got there a few times and lost it twice. And it took me years. Like I hit my first million. It took me like 5 to 6 years to get back to that area after I lost it. It was unrealized. My portfolio was up huge. I didn't take the gains. So I never really had the money, but it was there. And I saw it. I remember when $280,000 was just I had $280,000 in crypto, and I couldn't, and I was in my 1-bedroom apartment, and I just couldn't. I was looking at my wife. I was like, wow, we have so much money. We had never seen that much money in our lives. We never thought we would hold that much in our bank accounts ever in our lives. We were just like, wow. We were amazed. right? This thing is starting to take off. It looks like we may get this move up to 170 for Sol here. It definitely looks like we may get the move up. It's possible. It's starting to play out nicely. The way it's getting tight, the way it's looking, the whole structure is beautiful. Now we're up 9.5% in the trade. A lot of people would go super hard here and put it all on the line. I don't know why. They'll bet 14,000 for 20 grand, right? And go all in here. I'll tell you what, you'll hit a few times. The one time you don't, it'll devastate you so hard because you'll lose so much. It'll be hard to bounce back. I know I get in my head. I know losses aren't good, so I keep my losses small because big losses really, really mess with me. I don't like to lose money. You know? I have so many good systems in place right now and streams of income. Why would I lose money at this point? It doesn't make sense. It would be foolish for me. I've got rent coming in from rental properties. Like, why would I throw that money in the garbage? So if I over-risk myself, I'll lose money I'm making. If I just do proper risk management, I just add to what I already have. The key is not to be greedy. There's too many greedy people out here, and that is the thing. It's all about, and there's greed and there's a have to moment. There's no waiting. There's no patience. And this new generation of people, they want the Lambo now. They want $1 million now. Right? Yeah. It's called a plan. If you think that's gloating, you're a sheep, 100%. He said it, I didn't. But he called you a sheep, man, because you're thinking improperly. You came to this channel for knowledge and discipline. Get yourself situated and get that knowledge and discipline. Focus your mind on the positive things. Get yourself going. We're in a live trade right now. I'm showing you it play out in front of you. While I'm talking to you, look at the screen, please. Pay attention. You're focused on something that's got in your head. Get out of the negative spaces, please. I shouldn't even waste time on you. But I love you and I don't want you lost. No one's discussing where we are in the market right now. How you feel, what you're supposed to, you know what I mean? No one's discussing this. I'll tell you, the 4-day bounce here is interesting. It is. Jesus loves you, Sam, and all the lifers. XRP, you're funny, man. I lost 4K a few days ago and then 113K from Jelly. Thanks to you, Sam. I risk a lot, but I feel I have the upper hand. Hey, man, as long as you do what you gotta do and you stash some wins, you'll be all right. All right. Solana getting a nice little bounce here back to the upside. Where are you going with my car?
I'm not taking your car, but I'm going to go to the supermarket. I'll be gone for a while. Don't forget your dentist appointment.
Oh, you're not taking me to the dentist? I thought you were holding my hand.
It's at Publix.
Oh, it's at Publix?
It's next to Publix.
Oh. Shh, don't put on. The moon is about to go under. I thought you went to Lakewood Ranch to this nice guy. I thought you... Okay, I'm live streaming my live. I know you don't care about my live stream, but these people do. She does care about it, I don't mean, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not in Publix. It's next to Publix, you clown. I can't stand you, Vincenzo, man. I swear. Oh, man. I'm going to give you a noogie when I see you, brother. I'm going to grab you a noogie, you. He's like, hey, don't be noogieing me. I'll join your group soon. Have only heard good and correct things the last few days from you. Thank you for saying that. God bless you. All right, guys, let's all go right now and meet up at the dentist. I know, right? There'll be 100 people outside the dentist at Publix now. What if Supreme Court shuts down the tariffs? Do we soar? So he can speak normally. You're funny. I'm trying to see what you're saying. 104K printing. Yeah, I mean, so far so good here for BTC. Nice little flag here for Bitcoin. Again, it's about that 15 minute. 15 minute. 15 minute, bro. Let's look at what we're watching here. Remember, we have a plan. Is the plan going well? It's actually getting pumpy. So far, look, we're getting above the 200 moving average. We're crawling back out of the depths and making a move further to the upside here. So far, so good. Again, I would just wait. This takes patience. People want to jump. There's a moment, I'm going to miss it. You got to have patience to watch flags play out. This is very difficult. Like what I do on a daily basis is extremely difficult for people. Not even the trading. Setting up the trade and waiting for the trade to play out. Most people can't handle that. They want it now. It has to happen immediately. They're forcing it every single time, but that's just not the case. Okay? Remember, trading's about having a mentor that helps you think through your own thoughts a little bit. Make you say, am I being emotional or am I being logical? You're being one of those two things. Every single time you trade. Again, I have pants on. I'm not Kevin O'Leary, okay? There's pants here. We wear pants on the stream. I look really nice with these cocky pants, okay? Copper cocky. Matching. Not matching, but, But I just want, people wonder, does he wear pants? And again, it's no homo, but people wonder, does he mail it in with boxers or shorts, or does he actually have pants on? I don't have shoes on, I'll tell you that, though. It's barefoot trading here. Because if I had shoes on during the stream, I'd have shoes on in my home, and we don't wear shoes in my house. So that would be a bit awkward, no? Yeah. So I always say, if I came to your house, I would remove my shoes. So look at this bounce off the 4-day 200 moving average. Look at this possible inverted head and shoulder. Look where this would end up if it plays out as such. It would take us back up to 254 somewhere by the end of December. Again, not amazing. Looks like we could redistribute, come back down. Like you might be able to get in at 239 in June or May. It just kind of seems like it could take forever. It's been an insane few days, hasn't it, for all of us? Let's just take a deep breath and realize what we've all been through. The manipulation, the ups and downs, the massive moves in price action overnight. The redness, the pain, right? And it's okay. It's okay. I signed up for this volatility when I got into trading. I don't shy away from volatility. We get upset. There's times when I streamed where the market barely moved for days, and it was not fun. At least we got volatility today. I'm thankful for movements, right? You got to be thankful for everything in this market. The ups and the downs, for you will learn from it all. And learning is what you're here for. You're not here to get filthy rich. You're here to get filthy knowledgeable. The money will follow your knowledge. If you chase knowledge, the money will follow. If you chase getting paid, then who knows what will happen. And there's Solana on a move there to the upside. We call the flag for you. Nice little push up. Is it sustainable? That says we're going to 165. Solana getting the pump back to the upside here. Doing DiMaggio. So only time will tell. And we did bounce off the lows there at 146 for Solana. Wow. And getting a nice little pump. Nothing crazy, 26% on the trade. But we're showing you how to make live entries using the 21-day moving average and the 200 and the stochastics RSI. I teach this every single day. I go over it. I use it on the big time frames, the small time frames. Large trades, small trades, scalps, and weeklies. You name it. I can show you how the markets move from Forex all the way across the board. All right, we got bots that are making passive income for us all the time. I love this bot. If you want access to the bot, you go to MINOTAUR Trading Systems. I'll post that into the comment section. I do get a commission if you sign up to that. Okay. All right. Jesus loves you, Sam. XRP. Where is Rocket Man today? Shout out to True Korea. You're so funny. Thanks, Goat. We'll get into class soon. God bless you, Viddy Goat. God bless you, brother. Mr. Sam, can you check ES1? Yes, we'll take a look at ES1. Well, here's some more. I took 50%. Take profit on your soul trade and stop to be here. Some of the pie for your idea. I always risk manage properly. Thanks to your advice. and got to pay the trader. Well, here's some more. I took the 50%, take profit on your soul trade. God bless you, man. And you made gains again on the live, man. And that's the thing, too. A lot of people make content. Here's this, here's that. And you're like, we make content that's actionable. Like you can learn from me live on this channel. It plays out in front of you. Like, it's not like you have to wait till tomorrow. It's not like I say something and come back a week later and like mumble the board and say, oh, no, that's not what I said. I'm here every single day. I own up to what I said the day before. I can't shy away from it. I have to own everything I do here on this channel. So, because we don't take a day off, whatever we say, we have to own. Because tomorrow, I'm going to own it. Like, I'm going to be back here tomorrow, and you're going to say, well, what the heck was that all about yesterday, right? So, let's look for this flag on the 15-minute. It would send us to 106.8. Let's take this one step at a time. Does not mean we're out of the fire for sure. There's still some bearishness on the bigger time frames, but you dig out on the smaller time frames first. And look, we finally dug out after that massive dump to 98.9. We're already back up about $4,000. So, hey, I'll take this one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, and not get overly emotional here about the charts. I suggest you do the same. Let's take a look at ES1, the S&P futures. Okay, so let's look at the S&P. Remember, I was pretty bullish on it the last time we talked about it. Let's go over what I see happening. So I suggested that they were going to money print, that this was probably a great place to buy there at 670, right? Actually, that was our initial entry of this flag too. We're back to break even, but bounced. I see them printing money, and I see the markets getting a bounce today, and I just see this doing something like this. I see us getting tight when I do my macro technical analysis video just in 2 days. This is weird how fast time flies. It's Wednesday. I feel like I just did this video on Friday. It will be Friday in 2 days. But bang, I see us going sideways, and somewhat by Friday, I think we're just still inside this flag. And it says we break out by like Tuesday of next week, and we continue to print. They're going to quantitative ease. They're going to print. They're going to cut that rate, even though they're telling you they won't. They're going to cut that rate. Let's take a look at what it says here. Back to 70%, and I see this growing up and up and up and up. I think it was just a ploy to dump the markets. But again, who knows? I'll take it one step at a time. I don't overthink these things. The charts will tell you what to do. You don't have to know every single thing, every aspect about liquidity. You don't have to talk about it like a socio-economic, political degree. Like, just look at the geometric shapes. Like, I'm a geometric guy. I look at the shapes. The shapes tell me what these geopolitical people are going to do. I don't have to read the newspaper to see where the markets are going. Show me the charts, and I will show you the news. I'm telling you right now, it's never been a more truer statement in the world. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I care about each and every one of you and want to see you grow. If you grow, I grow. Understand? If you don't grow, how am I growing? If I'm not helping people progress, if I'm not getting testimonials every day that say, hey, Sam, thank you, then what the heck am I doing this for? Shout out to everyone that's left a testimonial in the trading group. I greatly, they're unbelievable. You guys are amazing. Right? I've been watching The Lifer Daily for a few months. Got burned a couple times and decided to join the 99. I've never seen a man so dedicated to the community in the week and a half I've been here. His wife surprised him with golf lessons today, and he skipped it to teach an impromptu risk first reward power hour for his 99s that he believed needed it. Instantly dropped everything. Very proud to be a 99er and strive to be like the Lifer. Motivational inside and outside the charts. I placed 2 trades that he called today and made 800. Thank you, Sam. You deserve everything and more. Shout out to Lucas Grumman. And thank you so much. That's one of the best. I mean, that's so short, sweet, to the point, and almost made me tear up, man. So God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everybody, I'll be in the charts throughout the day. We're going to be watching this flag on the 15-minute. I will update you if I enter the trade. Solana might actually fall short here. You never know. Maybe we take our $78 and move on. Stop loss to break even. I'd rather not lose. It's a high risk day of trading. Don't feel like you have to push it to the limit every single time. I don't mind trading soft sometimes. It's not about being a big shot. I don't have to show off to anybody. I'm not attempting to impress anybody. You see what I'm saying? I am just competing with myself from yesterday, making sure my discipline and my focus are where they were the day before, and if not better. Everyone, I love you. I thank you so much for being part of this amazing live stream. I appreciate you all for jumping on in, and I thank you and commend you for being amazing lifers. Remember, I studied the billionaires, the millionaires, and even the people that just made amazing things happen that had nothing to do with money, but that were considered a success. And you know what I found out was there was a secret to every single person that was successful. They all shared the exact same secret. And you know what it was? The secret to success, you know what it is? It's getting started. It's getting started. What are you going to start today that's going to change your life? I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.